Hi everyone! For today's video, I just wanted to walk you through some tips for finding sources for the upcoming paper. I figured it's a good time for a refresher, especially since the last time we were in our library session was before everything kind of went haywire with COVID. So, as you can see, I'm in our course site, and what I'm going to do, if you look on the left menu, there's a link called Research Toolkit. So I'm going to click on the Research Toolkit, and that brings us to our library English 102 page. And if you scroll down, you'll see there's different links down here, and I'm going to click on the first one, Explore and Refine a Topic. At this point, it might prompt you to enter in your M number since you're off campus. So if you see that, just go ahead and enter in your M number and it'll allow you to get into the databases. So I'm just going to start with the first option, which is the SIRS Researcher, which has a ton of information, as do all of these, but let's just start with SIRS. Okay, what is this? Oh, I'm just going to cancel that. Alright, so up at the top you'll see that there's a search bar where you can enter in your search terms. Also, it has this trending topics section. So you see here social media, homework, gun control, epidemics, excuse me, editor's picks. Some of these might actually be useful for you, especially if you're doing the topic of the ethics of keeping animals in captivity. You see there's an ethics section, environment and science, animal rights. So anyway, what I'm going to do is type in the search bar. And let's say I'm at the very beginning of my research and I want to learn more about mental health challenges among college students. Okay, so let's see what that yields. As you can see here, there are close to 2,000 results. And if you look on the left, it organizes them by source type. So newspapers, magazines, images, books, etc. And then you see here that there's a link for scholarly journals. So that's helpful because, as you know, you need a mix of scholarly sources and also non-scholarly credible sources for your paper. But let's just say I want to take a quick look at these sources that just came up with the search. So for college students, mental health support in any form is key. So let's see what else we have. Poll shows many college students are stressed and depressed. Major depressive episode among full-time college students. Campus mental health crunch. Study paints picture of collegiate mental health. The class of 2019 weighs mental health. So as you can see, there are a lot of sources. You would need to narrow down your search terms depending on what your claim is or what your issue question is. So the last time when we had our library session, Miss Jenny was talking to us about trying different combinations of search terms and also trying to narrow down your terms, because if you have a really broad topic like this, mental health and college students, you're going to get way too many sources and they might not be exactly the kind of source you're looking for. So let's think about how we could narrow this down a bit. Let's say I wanted to get a better idea of college students' access to mental health services. So as you can see, the results went from about 1,800 to 558. So that definitely narrowed it down a bit. if we look back to this this section on the left, we can see that there's now 140 newspapers and 33 scholarly sources. Before, I think there were 77 scholarly sources. So this just shows how it's helpful to narrow down your search terms in order to get more tailored results that are more likely to be helpful for your research. So that's SIRS. Let's go try another one. I'm just going to click the back button. There may be a better way to do this, but oh, here we go. All right, so we're back where we started. Let's check opposing viewpoints. Okay, so as you can see, trending topics on a lot of these databases, of course, is the coronavirus, since that is something that's that has vastly changed all of our lives and will probably continue to change our lives for a good amount of time to come. So you could browse through some of these issues and categories. Here's a fast fashion category, which is new. I had never seen that before, so that's interesting. I know some of you are researching fast fashion, so just so you know, that that category is there in opposing viewpoints. Okay, so let's go back to search. Let's say I wanted to search about the ethics of animals in captivity. You can see that this the search box actually came up with a bunch of suggestions. So that's helpful because that might give you some more ideas as for search terms to use. Let's just say animals in captivity. See what that yields. Okay, so some of these are actually very specific. Very specific. Okay, let's see what else. Zoos of the future may be animals' last best hope. Captive propagation and reintroduction. In captivity, orangutans unlock greater curiosity and intelligence. So it seems like there are different perspectives offered, which is what we want, right? It seems like there's a mix of pro zoo articles and non-pro zoo articles. Are zoos ethical? Concrete jungles. Remember to look at the source too. Like this is an article from Mother Jones Magazine. We read an article from Mother Jones Magazine earlier in the semester. Remember, it was the Gerard Jones article. Now for the fast fashion topic, I remember some of you found an article from Junior Scholastic and used that as part of your assignment. But then we talked about how this is actually written. I mean, it's a good publication. It's good to get like some basic idea, like a basic gist of what the issue is. But this is really written for like a middle school audience. So pay attention to the sources. Washington Post. Well, I'm not sure that's relevant to animals in captivity, but New York Times. There's also on the top, you see it's broken down into categories. Now, academic journals would be scholarly sources. So you could click on academic journals and you would know that these are peer-reviewed academic sources. So that's something to look out for because you'll need at least 5 of those. And again, these results seem to be very, very specific and maybe a little bit too specific for what you're looking for, in which case I would go back to where we started from and just keep going through different databases. It's time consuming. Finding sources is time consuming, and it's not something that you're likely to be able to pull off in a day or two, especially since you need 10. You can always go back to the Start Here button and click another link, Find Scholarly Articles, and this gives you access to other popular databases. So let's say we wanted to look at Sage journals. Again, you can browse by discipline or by subject. There's also a search bar. Let's try child marriage. Let's say we want to focus on Bangladesh. But as you can see, there are suggested search terms, which can actually be useful in helping you to think of specific search terms. So let's say I want to look at this one. Child marriage and its association with adverse reproductive outcomes for women in Bangladesh. So this is a study. It is peer-reviewed. It's an academic source. It's from a journal. And here on the left, you see that you can download the PDF. Always look at the abstract because that will help you to get an overall view of what the study is about. And you can quickly decide if it's worth downloading and reading through, or if it's something that you don't really think aligns with the kind of information you need. Also, what's helpful is that all journals have keywords. So if you find an article that you do like, so for example, if this was an article that you really liked and that you wanted to find similar articles like this, you could look at the keywords that are listed and then use these keywords to do additional searches. So all academic journal articles have this keyword section, which is really helpful. So I hope that helps. Just let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with your research.